Hello everybody, it is me, Game Penguin 21, and today, welp, looks like it's time to talk about the finals. Now, again, I haven't made any video or really much content on the finals, too much other stuff that I actually tend to cover a lot more frequently on the channel, but I wanted to talk about this since, I have been talking about a bunch of different videos and a bunch more different topics. And I do want to talk about more topics than just the ones that are like on Twitter and stuff. But this one specifically is interesting because the finals is about to enter season 4. I think at the time that this video will be posted, it will be either tomorrow or at least Saturday over the weekend. And overall, season 4 looks like it's starting to become something that's better than the previous season. Obviously, right? But I wanted to take a look back and realize that season 3 wasn't great. Now, initially, when season 3 happened, I was 100% on board with everything. I knew that what I liked wasn't anything to do with ranked, and that I was a very casual player. It was a game that I like, and I still do like a lot of the stuff that the game actually has to offer. It still, in my opinion, has some of the best destruction mechanics you can get in any game ever, free to play or not. It has some of the best gunplay and the tightest design of its main game modes, and it just feels fun to play. It feels like old school COD mixed with new school technology, but still retaining the roots of all of that. It, to me, is fun for first and foremost, and again, I think it's the like modern day Quake equivalent, I guess, but still not. It's hard to explain specifically. But overall, this right here, this is a game I know can come back from this, and it looks like they are doing the same things that we've been talking about to do this right. So overall, what is the end all be all point of season 4? Well, season 3, I think, was more of a transitional period, and I think season 4 is kind of like the makeup period and taking off what they knew versus what they got from season 3. And does that mean that season 3 basically is the worst season? Unfortunately, yes, but it's not bad. I think that in terms of what they wanted to do versus what the game actually is, was kind of thrown into question because while I agree that certain games, such as the cash out game mode, was thrown into the main line of casual mode, I think that in the end, the improvements that they made to cash out for specifically the cash out mode and what they wanted to do inevitably will actually help make the ranked cash out modes and cash out in general, the main game mode out of everything, to actually be okay. I do think that quick cash in and of itself is the good practice mode, and I don't think that that should be going anywhere, but having a regular cash out mode in and of itself seems to be the way to go. But overall, it's one of those things where it's like, who really knows, who really cares? But I care about this game, and I personally think that Season 3, while not great, did add some much needed freshness to it. I mean, it did keep me playing for a fairly long amount of time. I did manage to complete the entire Battle Pass, of course, because, I gotta get the most out of what I did. They had some very good cosmetics and some very good ways to earn other cosmetics outside of that. But overall, I mean, Emerald to me made no sense until I thought about it. And while yeah, that's fine and all, the end all be all of Emerald was just for the people who went above and beyond on World Tour, which not everyone played World Tour. And I thought that I would at least get to Gold World Tour, but it is much harder than you think it is. I do think that if they tweaked it to where more people could get gold and then maybe get into the final bits, maybe, but at the end of the day, it's for the most dedicated stuff, and I really only wanted it for maybe some of the skins, but the one skin that I would actually want, the AK one, means that I have to go all the way from where I'm currently at, all the way up to gold, and even if I daily grinded it in World Tour, it would take a very long time for me to do that. Especially considering that you then have to win tournaments in order to advance your actual Emerald rank. And overall, it's just fine. And, it's okay. My still main game mode, though, is still Power Shift because it is still really, really fun, and I think that a lot of people enjoy that as well. But also, that's more of a casual game mode, and, Terminal Attack I didn't really like. I played several games of the non-ranked and some of the ranked versions, but overall, I think that having that as its own separate mode for just being ranked is fine enough, but I thought it would do worse than it actually did. And the fact that they kept it around, even though that it was technically a specialty game mode for a while, kind of makes some weird no sense, but at the same time, it does make sense. It's strange. What I would like to see, though, is I would like to see in World Tour where you actually play Power Shift in World Tour, because I think that that would be super fun in a kind of casual competitive environment, personally. Though that's just my own personal thing with that. Overall, this is a video to say that I think that the finals in and of itself is going to go into a bit of a better place because of what Season 3 was. Yes, Season 3 was a very bit of a lull in the stuff. The weapons weren't as fantastic as some people wanted it. The B23R wasn't really good. Some of the melee weapons kind of was underwhelming. I did like the dual katanas when people actually didn't know how to counter them, but now people do really know how to counter them, which is, again, fine. But overall, melee in and of itself isn't the greatest in the finals right now. I do think that they can maybe tweak that for something else, but it's neither here nor there. Overall, and more importantly, I just think that the final Season 3 was kind of okay. Not great, because the first two seasons were really good, but that's like comparing, I don't know, some very decadent good dark chocolate to like some regular milk chocolate. It's not the same flavor, and not everyone likes chocolate in that context, but I mean, it's still good chocolate, and it might turn some people off because of its too sweetness, because they prefer a more bitter taste or something like that. It's hard to say where this specifically will go. But I am very excited that they are bringing in a lot of the stuff that people do actually want. More lore, more actual things, more really good guns, and they might even be rebalancing a few things. Overall, I think that right now, the finals is in a okay position to really start to make a good push, and some of those trailer stuff was really cool to see. And, overall, I think that this is going to be fun. In any case, that's just a quick little Thursday video because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make any Salt content for you for the next couple of times. Again, my whole schedule has been thrown into whack this week because I've been going through a bit of the lull in the depressive state. But I don't really want to burden you guys with any more about that. If you really want to know a bit more, I did link, there is my previous video which does have the announcement attached to it. It just kind of reiterates that I have not been in a good mental state for a while, and though I said I might be taking a break for it, I might not because, again, I recover from these things rather quickly, and it just took me like a day of recentering myself in order to actually figure out what I wanted to do. But overall, if you like what it is that I do and want to support me in any way, shape, or form, hit that like and subscribe button, and links to everything in the description below. I do stream on Twitch as often as I can. Might be less often because I'm getting a job. But overall, I do want to thank you so much for watching this episode of I Ran Into a Microphone about an autistic about an ADHD-infused hyperfixation that I have for the day, and a piece.